14th of August 2018. It is just a normal, quiet summer evening in Upperthorpe, Sheffield, England. People are settling down after a day at work, unaware of the event about to unfold. It is right before 6:45 p.m, but down a narrow pedestrian path cutting off Langsett Walk, something happens that changes this neighbourhood forever. In the fading light, there is a sudden tense encounter in the shadows. A 21-year-old young man is caught completely off guard. In just a matter of seconds, this quiet walkway becomes the centre of a massive emergency response. This single moment triggers an intensive police operation and an international search for answers. Kavan Brissett was 21 years old and lived locally. Known by his family and friends as Cav. Described by his family as beautiful inside and out, and wherever he went, he lit up the room. A determined young man, he was polite, caring, and the biggest heart and smile that anyone who met him would remember. He was a son, a brother, and a reliable friend. They said Cavan made the dullest times brighter for just being him, and someone who left a real impact on this neighbourhood. In that exact moment, a car park turns chaotic. Cavan is struck in the chest during the encounter. The single blow is devastating. People nearby hear the noise and realise someone is badly hurt. They rush out and find Cavan on the ground off Langsett Walk, struggling to stay conscious, covered in blood. Emergency services are called and paramedics arrive within minutes. They begin critical medical care right there on the pavement, trying to stabilise him. He's put into an ambulance and rushed under blue lights to hospital. Inside the ward, medical teams work around the clock to save him. When the family broke the news over the telephone to the rest of the relatives about the attack on Cavan, they described the reactions so devastating that they had never heard a scream like it in their life, dropping the phone in absolute shock. Cavan fights for his life for 4 straight days while his family waits in total agony. On Saturday, 18th of August 2018, Cavan passes away at Sheffield Northern General Hospital, and the police immediately start a murder investigation. After Cavan passes away, the medical reports are finalised. The examination confirms the grimmest reality. Cavan lost his life due to that single severe injury to his chest. The investigation teams instantly freeze Langsett walkway. They seal off the entire area, keeping the public back for days as specialist officers comb the ground. They take photos, scan the pavement, scour the surrounding paths, and rip through the nearby bushes for clues. But despite their massive efforts, the object from the encounter is nowhere to be found. It has vanished. Yet the details reveal one undeniable fact. The nature of what happened shows it was entirely deliberate. This was no accident. Cavan was directly targeted.
As you know, knife crime is a mess in South Yorkshire. Knife crime can happen to anybody and anybody's family. I never ever expected this to ever happen to mine. Youth today need to realise that it isn't acceptable to carry knives. It takes one stab wound.
With a major investigation officially open, South Yorkshire Police bring in their specialist teams. Detectives track every single lead. Officers flood Upperthorpe, knocking on doors, handing out flyers, and interviewing anyone near Langsett Walk that night. To understand what happened that night, we have to look at the men who arrived into Upperthorpe with Cavan. Their names are Travis O'Grady, Derice Cohen, Ethan Hallows, and Jason Baker. At first, investigators suspected these four had arranged the meeting off Langsett Walk to set a trap and intercept the buyer. A buyer detectives believe was linked to Ahmed Farah. Because of that suspicion, early news reports stated the four men were charged with serious conspiracy to rob. But when the case actually reached the courtroom, that narrative shattered completely. The men flat out denied trying to set a trap for anyone, and the prosecution simply couldn't prove it. In a dramatic turn, the judge completely cleared them of the robbery charge, throwing it entirely out. The evidence revealed this wasn't an ambush at all. It was an illicit street arrangement that turned violently wrong. With the original charges dropped, Jason, Travis, Derice and Ethan pleaded guilty to what they actually did: conspiracy to distribute banned substances. In March 2021, they received sentences ranging between 28 and 36 weeks. Throughout it all, authorities have always made one thing absolutely clear. While these four set up the fateful meeting, they were not the ones who took Cavan's life. Instead, the search for answers focused entirely on a key individual, Ahmed Farah, who goes by the street name Reggie. Investigators believe that during the exact same encounter where Cavan was injured, Farah was also hurt, sustaining noticeable wounds to his face. Later that very night, CCTV cameras tracked Farah walking right into the minor injuries clinic at the Royal Hallamshire Hospital to have those facial injuries treated. Then, in a remarkable bold move, he actually walked right back into the exact same clinic the very next morning for further medical attention. Right after that, he vanished. He has been evading authorities ever since, sparking an intensive tracking operation that stretched across the UK and even overseas. To this day, the search for Ahmed Farah remains active. On 14th of August 2018, the final hours of Cavan's life began with the departure from Stannington. Court records from the case note that one of the co-defendants present with him that night, Ethan Hallows, lived on Stannington Road. Cavan makes a stop at Hillsborough petrol station. Police know Cavan was at the petrol station because his movements were caught on CCTV surveillance footage at the location. The cameras at Hillsborough petrol station provided a clear, confirmed visual recording of him. Police withheld the location of the petrol station, but the closest one to the next location, Total Energies, which is a 5-minute drive from Stannington Road. En route to the next location is a 4-minute drive where Cavan is dropped off. Following his drop-off at the Philadelphia estate, the trail goes completely silent. A crucial witness-free gap separates this moment from the sudden violence that would break out on Grammar Street after 6:30 p.m. Because Farrah fled immediately after treating his own facial injuries at the hospital, he has never faced a police interview room to establish full legal intent. So while the police can and will keep his face on the most wanted list to locate him, they must wait for a formal courtroom trial before he can legally be named the perpetrator. South Yorkshire Police confirm they have no legal record of Ahmed Farah passing through any airport border. Senior investigators stated they checked ports and airports and found no confirmation that Farah legally left the country. If he did successfully escape to Somalia, he avoided generating a standard boarding pass tied to his real name. Farrah has deep family ties and ancestral roots in Somalia. To an investigator, that's not just a background detail, that's a potential safe haven. A place where someone can get a place to stay, cash, and a new identity without ever triggering a UK border alert. This isn't just guesswork either. The police didn't just guess he went there. They actually extended their investigation across international borders, chasing leads directly on Somali soil. By keeping Somalia in the headlines, the police are playing a tactical game. They're letting his inner circle know they haven't given up, and they're reminding anyone protecting him that harbouring a fugitive is a serious crime. The paper trail might be empty, but the search for Ahmed Farah is far from over. Broad statistics reveal a striking reality. Most critical encounters of this nature do not happen between random strangers. Instead, they deeply involve individuals who know one another or move within the exact same local circles. It is a tight-knit web, and that means one undeniable thing. The final answer to what happened that night are likely held by people living right here in this community.
People saw something that day and chose silence. That's the world we're living in, and it's rotten. Whatever was going on that day doesn't erase your right to justice, it's your basic human rights.
Looking at how this encounter unfolded tells us a lot about the mind of the person responsible. They clearly had intimate, comfortable knowledge of Sheffield, specific pedestrian cut-throughs and estate layouts, knowing exactly how to slip away without drawing any attention, using the lack of visibility to catch Cavan completely off guard, fleeing the area instantly and successfully staying off the grid for years shows a highly organised approach. It reveals a total lack of empathy for Cavan and his family, lightly backed up by a tight network of people helping them hide from authorities to this very day. Cavan was well known in the community for his focus and his plans for the future. He was making a real effort to keep his life on track. A big part of that was his commitment to the local boxing club. Training was his daily structure, and he worked hard to better himself alongside his friends. He was a familiar face at the gym. I decided to follow the route Cavan would have done many times while training. Running up this hill, and then down the other side. And right along that path, I came across this artwork mural of Cavan. A 10-bell salute was held in his honour at the gym. On a personal note, I used to go to the same gym as Cavan. I did see him once, and the smile and friendliness his family described, I did see that from him at the gym. I also attended the 10-bell salute that honoured his memory.
Our hearts will never heal, but getting justice for Cavan would make us sleep a little easier. Please, we would ask that anyone with any information come forward and allow us to give Cavan the dignity of justice. All information is of importance, no matter how small it may seem to you. Help us solve this puzzle for our boy. Thank you. In another appeal, the family added, "We are in the middle of our grieving process, but perhaps the healing will become easier when Cav is brought some justice. We ask that any information that anyone has, no matter how big or small, is handed over to the police, as not only could it be vital to their investigation, but it will help a devastated family find some peace in the midst of chaos. Police warn that Ahmed Farah is wanted and anyone harbouring him faces prosecution."
The family described themselves as never been the same since Cav was taken from them. The investigation remains open, searching for the final pieces to bring justice for the family of Kavan Brissett.